Hello, welcome again. Glad you're with us, and we're going to get right into the study for just a few minutes that I really want to help uh, you and others with, and that is I want to debunk the myth that you just can't hear God. I hear so many people, Christians in particular, who say, "Well, I just don't hear anything. I read the word and I go to church and I listen to the Bible studies, but I just don't know what you're talking about. I just don't hear him. And I just want to show you, actually, you are. If you're saved, you're hearing. And we're talking about following Christ and what it means to be his disciple, how to follow him, to be reconciled to him. So, in all of that, it's based on hearing and responding. And so let me go back to our initial text here in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "And you he made alive who were dead in trespasses and sins." You that were dead, that's me and you. We were dead. We were born, thanks to Adam, we were born spiritually dead. Spiritually, we had no life. As a result, we had nothing, no spiritual vitality. None of the faculties of life were available to us as spiritual dead men and women. However, Christ made us alive through his finished work. That's how we were reconciled back to God, was through Christ. That work's already been done. That's a newsflash. A lot of people think there's something they need to do, and he's already done it. But let's talk about this hearing issue. Let me ask you a question. Would God, in all of his goodness and all of his mercy and all of his great love, and you being created in his image and in his likeness, that's internally and externally, would he give you life again and not restore your hearing? What kind of a father would do that? How mean would I mean, I just wouldn't serve a God that would restore me back to life and not let me hear. That's the very basis of all communication, is first hearing and then responding, seeking to understand and then be understood, right? So I just want you to understand you didn't have hearing in your unregenerate state. But when Christ comes on his initiative and upon his invitation and says to you, "Come, follow me." Now, you may not hear that in audible words, but there is a tugging in your spirit, because we are spirit and God is spirit. And so it's spirit to spirit. Let's keep this simple. Okay, let's don't make it complicated. It's spirit to spirit. God's spirit now quickens you and makes you alive. And the first thing he does is restore your hearing. Because he issues an invitation for you to respond to. And how could you respond to it if you can't hear? Of course, you can hear. And if you can hear, you can respond, and you can be led by the Spirit of God. Indeed, in Romans, it says that the sons of God are led by the Spirit of God, or by hearing the Spirit of God, or by hearing him through his word. Let's don't get lost in metaphors. And again, let's keep this simple and plain. Jesus said, if you'll be like a little child, you can enter into the kingdom. So let's keep this childlike, in that if he said it, I believe it, that settles it. And so here's the beautiful truth. The reason you have salvation is because you can hear and be drawn by the Spirit of God. So that settles the issue that you don't hear God. I think we've used that as an excuse. Wow, that's a word for all of us. We may have been using this as an excuse because we may not be fully committed yet. You know, Jesus called some guys and they said, "Well, I need to go and sell a piece of land." Another one said, "I need to go tell my mama." Now, I don't know what all. They had all these excuses, but they were hearing. That's the point. So it's not that we aren't hearing, it's that we just may have some excuses and they're rooted in a lack of commitment. So I hope this has helped clear up the fact that you don't hear God. If you're a believer and if you've been born again by responding to Him and inviting Him into your heart after He has invited you to come in, then you can hear, you can still hear, and you can still follow and be led by the Spirit of God. I hope this has been a blessing to you. And by the way, if this has blessed you, why not share this link with someone you love that you know loves the Lord, or maybe struggling with some of these things, and see if this doesn't become an encouragement to them. And if this is your first time to listen to one of our videos, I'd like to invite you to click on the subscribe button and stay up with us, because we have a lot of good information coming out that's very practical and it's on point. And by the way, it all points to Jesus. Thank you for being with us today.